Pausing the recording. How's it going out there? It's Tuesday night. Thanks so much for sharing your time with me. It's always a pleasure to be here. It's been a long and stressful day for me. So everybody just take a deep breath and send some warm family vibes out to the universe for yours truly. My wife and daughter are over in Thailand right now. They just had last test done for my daughter's situation. You already know about it. Great. I won't bore you with the details if you don't. But man, some stressful stuff going on out there in Thailand right now, and we're working through it. We're working through it. We don't give up. That's the most important lesson. We persevere, right? We do what's difficult. We do what needs to get done. Told my daughter, I said, if you're ever not sure what the right thing to do is, it's usually not the easy thing. The easy thing is sometimes not the right thing. In fact, it's quite often not the right thing. The right thing is usually difficult. And so if you're faced with a decision and you're not sure what to do the hard thing. It's probably the right thing. Little life lesson there from founder and fearless leader. Thanks for joining, guys. It's good to be here. I have a few things to talk about tonight, but as always, my time is yours for the evening. So get your questions into the Q&A section down the bottom so that I can answer them. Generally in the order that they are received. Pretty pleased with sugar on top. And let's begin. Okay, so first of all, we are coming up quite rapidly on 300 miners. We're not there yet. I was going to do all kinds of 300 Spartan themed graphics and promotion stuff to celebrate 300, but we're right there on the edge. We're at 291 right now. And that's really exciting because we've got a group. We've got a thing. It's coming together. Now, you might say, well, 300 is a long shot from like a million, and you'd be absolutely right. And I've been thinking a lot over the last week about what the tipping point is. At what point is this thing going to start doing what it's designed to do, which is growing exponentially? And I think the right number there is 1,000. We might have even talked about this last week, so please stop me if we've already talked about it. But I'm hoping to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. It's a long shot, but it is the goal. And do keep in mind that as we get further along towards that goal, the payout per share decreases. And so if you want to see an example of that, let me pull up this profile here, and you can see that over time, let me get this out of the way. Somebody's sending me a message. Hopefully I'm not in trouble. Can we all hear me okay? Can anyone hear me okay? Can you pop a hand up if you can hear me okay? Anyone? We can hear me okay. Thanks, Hammer. All right, good. I'm here. It's not the first time I've talked for like 8 minutes and then realized later that I wasn't actually saying anything, or at least not anything that people could hear. So if you look at my screen, you will see that if we go far enough back, it becomes really drastic and noticeable. I don't know why there's not a decimal point here, but this should be 419, 479. If we go further back, we're in the 500s here. So the payout per share decreases over time as the total pie gets larger. So your slice of the pie stays the same over time unless you're adding on more shares. How do you do that? You either purchase more up to the limit, or you can earn more through referrals. And so if you'd like to see your numbers stay more consistent, then get involved and let's grow this thing together, and we'll reward you for that. But it does decrease over time. And so if you look at the charts, you'll see what's happening. In fact, we're at the point now where 100 mega hash, 100 over 100, and what do we have as a total? 100 and 37,400. 137,400 times I guess we're getting like an average of 90,000 coins a day. It's only like 65 coins a day. So remember to keep that in the back of your mind and to communicate the right information if you're sharing this with people. The reality is that the amount will decrease over time, but still we're expecting the total amount accumulated over our 12, 18-month period to still be somewhere between 10 and 15,000. We'll start seeing that change drastically as we start getting into the exponential growth phase. So for now, it still feels comfortable, but obviously later, if you're talking to somebody, well, you'll acquire 9 to 12,000 or 8 to 10,000. So that number will change as we get further along. And again, the hope is always that the value of TEXITcoin is climbing in the market, so that that the decrease is offset by an increase in value. And we're going to talk more about market insight here tonight as well. But congratulations, we're doing great. The numbers are growing. They're not growing quite as quick as I would hope, but they are growing, and they're growing well. And the way I look at it is, we're planting roots. We want those roots to go down deep, so that the people that are involved with our project today in the early phase, in our pre-launch period, are very experienced with our concepts. They're familiar with our vision, mission, strategy. And so they're able to communicate those ideas accurately to outsiders, to people who don't necessarily know me personally, or who aren't familiar with crypto, or who are, coming from an experience that they had that wasn't pleasurable in a previous crypto journey. So we want to be able to share good information with them. We want the people that are involved now to be well educated, and that's why we take this time on Tuesday night to share our time together, to make sure that we've got the basics down, and that way we ensure a high quality of new miner participants. High quality new miner. I don't know if that sounds right. But another important thing, we are getting very close here to being fully on the payout management system. And if you recall, when we first started, we didn't have anything. We had an Excel spreadsheet. That was challenging. Then we switched over to a really great system that was tracking all of our affiliate progress through an industry, software package. It wasn't great, but it was from the affiliate marketing industry. So it was built to track the things that we needed to track well. Unfortunately, it didn't talk to the mine. And so one of the most important pieces of information that you want to have access to is how much hash power you have, what your payout is, how much did you get yesterday, the day before, was it correct? And so instead of building all of that data into this affiliate software, we decided to go the other way. And we decided to build our own software that manages and controls the mine, and then add in the affiliate tracking, the bonuses, the points into this system. So we're almost there. We're very, very close to transitioning 100% over. In fact, we're so close that now in the welcome email that goes out to new miners, I'm not even including access information for the old system. So before, the welcome email says, hey, we've got 2 systems. Here's your login for system 1. You got to go here to set up your login for system 2. Confusing. And so we're far enough along now with important information that that we're only sending out access for payout. And that's the system that you're looking in front of you here. And so we've got a couple bugs in here, but I'd like you to get in. If you haven't gotten into the system yet, please get in, because it shows you the daily TEXITcoin rewards that are paid out, how many new blocks we found yesterday, how many blocks we have total, the total hash power that's sharing those blocks, and the total TEXITcoin that's produced from those blocks. Basically, remember, we get 254 TEXITcoin per block. 360 new blocks yesterday means that we should have produced 91,440 blocks. Now, another important thing, we've been talking about how our network is supposed to produce about 95,000 coins per day. And it looks like over the last week or so, we've been averaging about 90,000. And so if you look at this chart up here, you can see that some days we spike up to like 97. Some days we drop all the way down to 84. This is just how the system works. Remember, when you're crypto mining, it works like a bit of a lottery. And so we never know exactly how many new blocks the miners are going to find every day. They go in there, they do their work, they come out after a long, hard day, wipe the coal residue from their heads digitally, and then they show us the rewards that they were able to acquire. And so that number always changes. So not only does the reward decrease as the pie gets larger per share, but also there's an up and down cycle of how many blocks we're finding per day, 254 TEXITcoin per block. And so some days we get a 97,000 coin reward. Some days we get an 84,000. So again, it looks like we're averaging about 90,000, I would say, over the last couple of weeks. Again, I'm looking at this and I'm trying to figure out why. I've got a lot of information. I've been doing this for a while, but I don't have all the answers. And so when we originally built the blockchain, it was supposed to produce a block every 3 minutes or about 120,000 coin a day. And so we're pretty far off of where we originally expected to be. And so we're thinking now that that's related to the merge mining and the fact that we're also mining Litecoin to help offset our electric bill. So we're analyzing, we're watching, we're staying aware. But again, the important thing is that as you're communicating this information to people that are interested in participating, you're not telling them something like, well, you get 100 TEXITcoin per day forever and ever and ever. No, 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 no. You get a variable amount of TEXITcoin per day based on the amount of TEXITcoin produced by the network, and it will decrease over time as which way is right? Is this way right or is this way right? Raise your hand if this way is right for you. Let's see what we got. This way to the right. Is this right? Maybe. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm backwards here, because normally I say right is this way, but I feel like I'm already backwards, so maybe right this way. I don't know. Okay. Setting all that aside, I will figure out my right from lefts someday when I'm older. I write it off to bad parenting. Putting my shoes on the wrong feet. Anyway, so remember, the network produces a variable amount of coins, and you can see the historical production in this chart. And the amount that is paid out to each share will diminish steadily over time as the total number of miners and hash power grows. And so, again, you're not saying you'll get 100 TEXITcoin per day. If you need to give somebody a fixed number, you can do the math. Okay, well, today we've got 137,000 mega hash, and you'll get 100 mega hash, 100 over 137,000, 137, 100 over 137,400 equals a very small number multiplied by an average of 90,000 coins, 65.5. Again, it changes over time. Keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, so moving on. Payout also is going to show you a list of people that you have sponsored. I'm going to try to make the window a little bit bigger here so that it doesn't reveal private information unnecessarily. But if you go to sponsor, now I broke something. My mouse died. Okay, there it is. If you go to sponsor, man, this is being difficult right now. If you go to sponsor, it'll show you a list of all the people that you've brought in. And that's an important thing because remember, we've got a reward. So much for my privacy here. We've got a reward that's directly related, connected to bringing in 1, 2, 3. And we also improved that this past week where if we bring on somebody that grabs a 9-pack, we'll give you a bonus immediately for that as well. So keep an eye on the list of sponsors. If you look at your list of people that you've sponsored and there's someone missing, let us know. We are manually matching up the referral ID from the initial form. And I don't think there's been a time that we weren't really sure that we've got it right. But if there's something that's missing, please let us know. We're happy to make an update. And then the other thing that's really cool in this thing is not working right now. So I actually can't show you how it works, but it is the placement. And this will give you the ability to see everyone that is placed in your tree. It's a little difficult to navigate, but I actually like it better than the old system because you can see the whole thing at one time by dragging on the screen. I sent a message to the developer about this, and they are on it right now. Hopefully before the end of this call, you'll also be able to see it. The resource section is where we put these recordings and other recordings that we make for training purposes. Again, these are resources that we're creating just for you. And the reason for that is because we think that there's a huge benefit in learning this stuff the right way. And that's part of the value add that you get when you become a miner. So it's like, well, why should I become a miner? I can just buy coin off the open market right now. Yeah, you sure can. But we get a live call every Tuesday where we talk about what's going on. We get access to training resources. More is coming. and you also get the daily payout that, like we just talked about, decreases over time. So this is the resource section. The reward section shows you how much was paid out in a little bit more detail and exactly where it went. And then the profile at the bottom is a very important section, because this is where you go to edit your payout address. Okay, so right now, when you first enroll, everyone gets linked to a cold storage coin. Once you become more familiar with the TEXITcoin ecosystem, you can download and install a mobile wallet. Once you have a mobile wallet address, you can pop that in here and put in a hot wallet address so that some of your TEXITcoin will pay out to your mobile device. Well, why do you want to do that? Because the mobile device makes it very easy then to transfer over to an exchange like DexTrade or Vindax, which we'll talk about in just the next few moments. So this is the section where you go to modify your payout address. Now, you won't see any change happen immediately, but every night around 7 o'clock Texas time is when the mine does the payout. That's the end of the day in UTC, Coordinated Universal Time. And so at the end of the day, the mine does its one payout. It will look here to find out exactly what your addresses are, and it will send a proportional amount based on the percentage that you put in. Now, we've built a couple things in here so that if you put a bad wallet address in and you try to save it, then it will give you an error telling you that you've got a bad wallet address, which is great. Or if you put in a good wallet address, but we've already got it in our system, then it will tell you that it's a duplicate wallet address. Or if you try to change your percent to get 120%, it will show you that the sum of your percent must be 100%. A little typo there. So it's got a little bit of intelligence built in there so that we can keep our data clean and make sure that you're not putting in a bad address. But you are also encouraged to come in here and pop in a Bitcoin or USDT or an Ethereum or other address so that if you'd like to have a future payout for a commission or reward paid out in Bitcoin, then we can find that information in here and get you paid quickly. Okay, so that is what's going on in payout. Remember, we're transitioning over 100% soon from affiliates. We are not using that system for much at all anymore, so don't go in there looking for any kind of good data. We're still counting points in there, and we're still counting referrals in there, but we're not using it anymore for tracking commissions paid or for anything. But I will log in there real quick just to show you what's going on, because I like to share the numbers with you. And again, the numbers in here are accurate. And there you go. So we've brought in a total of $407,900, and we have paid out $161,000 in commission. Again, these numbers are not accurate because we're not tracking payouts in this system anymore, but we are still using it to track points, and it's doing very well at tracking those points correctly and making sure that people are getting credit for what they've created, which is great. I don't want to pull up any reports in here because it's got private information on there, but I would love to show you. Let me see if I can scroll down just a little bit here without ruining top earner. Chris Beck. Chris Beck is up to number 1. We called him out last week. Great job, Chris. I think he's traveling today and not with us on the call. Nope, he's not here, but he's doing a great job along with a bunch of other people. And I'm very, very satisfied with what's going on. Very honored with the continued promotion. Remember, you guys are the advertising budget. You know, we don't spend any money right now on Facebook ads, on Instagram ads, on TikTok ads. We put all of our money that we have into payouts and commissions for our word of mouth affiliate advertising program. You know, we've talked a little bit in the past, like about whether or not this is an MLM, dirty words, dirty letters. It's not. I've sat down with plenty of experts and they're like, dude, you don't have an MLM. If you don't have an auto ship and you don't have a sign up requirement, it's not an MLM. Stop calling it an MLM. I'm like, well, that's good because I really don't want to call it an MLM. It's an affiliate program. And we reward our miners very heavily for promoting and for sharing the message and for bringing on other miners. Remember, our goal is to build the mine. We need 1 million people. We need 100 million mega hash. I'm in the process right now of writing out a different version of our story that we're telling over on the other side of the planet to our friends in Asia. And the story is not about mining over there. It's all about why TEXITcoin is going to the moon and beyond. And as soon as that's done, I'll share that story with you. But it's a great little data set about these different things that we have that are connected to the idea that if we build a big, successful, trustworthy, secure mine, we'll have a top 100 coin. And the good news is the deeper I go into the research to actually building this presentation, the more confident I am about that result actually becoming a reality. The question is whether or not you and I together can find the people that we need to crowdsource the mine. It's a question. I think it's a certainty. Really, the question is not if it'll happen, but when it'll happen. And if it happens over the next year, it's very, very good, because remember, our network produces new coins every day. So if we're trying to get to 1 billion and we divide that number by 50 million, well, then we're at $20 a coin. If we're trying to get to 1 billion and we divide that number by 70 million, billion divided by 70 million, it's only $14 a coin. So the $16 price target that I've been comfortable mentioning to people makes the assumption that we reach our goal in about 18 months. And so if we were to double in size every month, which I believe we will at some point, then we're going to get to where we want to go very, very, very quickly. In fact, I think we'll get there too quickly. And it sounds stupid, but there's a balance here between rapid growth and also letting those roots go nice and deep. Most important thing to me in this whole project is that it's real, it's honest, it's a legitimate project. And in order for us to do that, it takes time. It takes time to get those roots to go nice and deep. And so I don't want to get to the goal too quickly, but again, 18 months is a good balance between speed and also number of coins in our network. That way that, if we get there in 18 months, then we will find a great balance between the price of our coin, the number of units that we have in our marketplace or in our crypto, and also where we rank on the top 100. So again, that is the goal. We're building the mine, and it's going to take time. I think we're off to a great start, and we are looking to increase the pace of growth once we reach our tipping point, which I think will come about 1,000. Okay, so we're almost ready to completely transition over to payout. Let's explore the payout features. Done. Okay, now for the moment we've all been waiting for. I want to talk about the fact that we are live today on 2 exchanges. You all know and love DexTrade. We've talked about DexTrade plenty of times, but I would like to introduce for your consideration my friend Vindax. Vindax is not available to US customers. And so let me rephrase that. Vindax is not available to people browsing from the USA. And so in order to get around that limitation, I've had to install my little friend up here called TunnelBear. And TunnelBear is a browser-based VPN that is free to start. You got to pay for it if you use it too much, but it's free to begin. And my little bear here has tunneled underground from the United States and gone all the way over to Belgium. And I can pick any one of a number of different countries that I want to make it look like I'm browsing from. But if I turn my little TunnelBear friend off here and I try to refresh this page, unfortunately, it's going to lock me out. It's going to give me a terrible error saying, no, services unavailable. Sorry, we do not provide our services to US and Canada citizens. Wait a minute. Am I still sharing my screen? I'm not sharing my screen. Sorry about that. I thought I was sharing my screen. Here's my screen. So if you try to connect to Vindax, and here's the website, from a computer in the USA, it will not let you. And so I have installed this little browser-based VPN app called TunnelBear. And TunnelBear allows me to choose what country I want to make it look like I'm connecting from. I turn it on. My little bear goes underground. He comes out on the other side of the world. voila. And then I can change my URL, get rid of the forbidden part, and go back to the Vindax homepage. Just like that, I've bypassed their advanced security features and I'm in. Register an account. Same basic steps. I'll make a video for it soon. Register an account, create your two-factor authentication, verify your email address, get your wallet deposit address, throw some TEXITcoin over there, and let's have even more fun. This is Vindax. I'm not going to log in right now, but I will go over to their basic exchange and show you how to find the exchange for TEXITcoin. So what we have to do is we've got to click on, it'll default to BTC here. And then we're going to need to change that to USDT. Then you can search for the TXC trade pair. There it is. Oh, 50.32% down. Fear not, friends. This is brand new and there's no real trading here yet. We're just trading back and forth with ourselves, trying to push the volume to the point where we get picked up by coin market cap. And remember, this is our top priority at the moment. I've already been engaging coin market cap, making sure that we're doing everything exactly right to get our digital asset listed and our history recorded properly in this website. I think it takes a couple days for it to start to update and refresh, but we should be here any day now. We're here because of Vindax. And Vindax, again, there's no real trades happening here yet, but we are starting to establish our order book. And if you want to jump in there and participate, you're more than welcome to. It's open to everyone, so long as you have yourself your little Tunnel Bear browser VPN or alternative. So jump in there and make your deposit, get your order book set up, and let's have some more fun. But remember, this is not a real indication of our market right now because it's brand new and we haven't told anybody about it yet until now. So don't take anything that happens here too seriously just yet. Our real market is taking place very nicely right now over on DexTrade. Now, let's talk about this. Remember, I've got my chart view set up for 1 day. So I'm only seeing what's happening over the course of a day. Remember that we set up our order book management system on September 2nd. And so we turned it off right about October 2nd, right here, which, as you can see, was kind of a bit of a low spot for us. You know, we had 1 or 2 more days where we were a little bit lower, and then our market has started to respond. But check out what you're seeing here with these really long, thin lines behind the candles. So they call these candlesticks. I don't know chart terminology, so don't expect a whole lot from me here. But the point is that these lines represent the trades that are happening, the range of the trades that are happening inside of a particular period of time. So I've got it set to 1 day. So in 1 day, yesterday, or is this today? Today, which is coming to an end very soon, and we'll start the next candle, maybe even before the end of this call. But in 1 day, today, we were as high as 14.915 cents. And at the same time, we were as low as 5.8 cents. So it's like, what's going on? This doesn't make any sense. How is it that we have got this incredibly huge range? Well, if you remember our historical conversations about our market and the analysis that I've been doing and what's going on, this is a pretty fair, I think, representation of our real market. What does it mean? It means that our market has a big spread right now. Our market of buyers, the buyers right now are paying 6 cents, 6.0 cents, 5.9 cents, 5 cents, 5 cents, 4 cents. And the sellers are looking to get, 9.9 and higher. And so this is really what we've been battling for the last couple of weeks as we turned on the automated order book management and learned kind of the hard way that the rules that the exchanges are setting for us aren't necessarily a good indication of the actual dynamics of our market. And I know that's like a mouthful, right? And I'm not looking to explain it in great detail. We talked about this last week and 2 weeks ago, probably in more detail. But the point is that I think what we're seeing here is a much more accurate reflection of our real market. And again, to really get the story, you got to look beyond the chart and look at the order book. And so right now, there's a seller that's selling 8,700 TEXITcoin at 9.9 cents. And so it's created a bit of a brick wall that we're not going to be able to get over until somebody buys almost $1,000 worth of TEXITcoin. So the price will stay at or below 99699 until there's at least $1,000 of orders that clear out that sell order. On the other side, it works the same way, but backwards. So on the other side of the order book, you can see here that we've got a couple buyers at 6.1, 6.1, 6.0, and then we've got a brick wall where someone's got $696 committed to buy TEXITcoin at 5.8 cents. That's a huge buy order. And so, like I said a moment ago, what we want out of our project more than anything else is for it to be real, for it to be an accurate reflection of what's happening, both in terms of the trading market and in terms of our mine growth. And so I don't really take any of this too seriously. I think a lot of what's happening here is more stocking up or speculative, because it's not until we start to promote the building of our mine that we can actually expect to see a response from the market. You know, if we show people we're adding a new mining site number 2 is online, boom, we should see a market jump. It's kind of like when you're listening to earnings reports or, you know, information that comes out of like the NASDAQ or the Dow Jones, like who had a good month? Show me what you did this month. And then let's see if your stock price responds the same way. I don't want to draw too much similarities because we're not a stock. But the point is that if we have good news and we show the market our growth, then we're hoping that the market responds accordingly. So we haven't done that yet. We're still testing. We're still figuring things out. We just got through immersion cooling and merge mining. So we've got a lot to communicate with the world. We haven't done it yet, but once we do it, that's when we're expecting to see a correlation between our market activity and our progress in us as we move towards our major goals. Okay. So that's number one. But number two is you got to look at the order book here to see what's really going on. And so you can see as you look at the order book that there's a bit of a brick wall here at 9969. And then there's another bit of a wall as you scroll further up the order book and go to right here at 9970. Someone's got 50,000 TEXITcoin for sale, $5,000 worth. And so what happens here in these places where you see this thin line jumping all the way from the top to the bottom is somebody blew through those orders. Somebody came along and said, I'll make a big buy right now. They knocked down that wall and they drove the market all the way up to 15 cents. You know, if somebody places an order right now for $9,644 of TEXITcoin, they'll drive the price all the way up for 15 cents. And that's possibly what happened earlier. You can check to see if that happened by looking at the order history. It only goes so far, but you can see that there are live trades happening and money is moving back and forth. Money and TEXITcoin are moving back and forth over here. That's good. That's what we want to see, real activity. But on the flip side, there's a big spread between what people are asking to get paid for TEXITcoin, 9.9 cents, basically 10 cents, and what they would actually like to pay for TEXITcoin. So the buyers are offering 6 cents. The sellers are asking 9.9 cents, 10 cents basically. And so there's a spread. And that spread's okay. You know, we were dealing with the opposite of this for about a month as we were on the automated order book management because we kept injecting almost an unlimited supply of TEXITcoin in there at whatever the current market price was. So if the market price dropped down to 6 cents, there we were ready to sell TEXITcoin at 6 cents. Well, I don't want to sell TEXITcoin at 6 cents. If I have the option, if I have a choice, I'd like to sell it at 10 cents or higher. And so what we did when we disabled that is we let the market of buyers and sellers determine those numbers for themselves. So if a buyer comes along and blows through all these open sell orders and pushes the price all the way up to 15 cents, you'll see that line go all the way up to whatever the largest trade was in that period of time. However, if somebody comes along and says 15 cents sounds pretty great, I'm going to sell, and they push that order back down, or they push the price back down because the buyers are still there saying, well, I'll pay 6 or 7 cents. Then it'll drop that price all the way back down. So we're going to continue to see for a while as our market matures, we're going to see these swings between the top of the market and the bottom of the market. And that's okay. That's what our spread is. So it's saying here we are at 9 cents all the way down to 3 cents. So that's where we were October 9th. But now all of a sudden, as you see the bottom start to move up slowly, it shows us that we're beginning to work ourselves in the right direction, which makes me very happy. Again, it's a little flimsy because it's not related to the work that we're doing in building the mine. So I still take it with a bit of a grain of salt. But again, you know, look, as we do this project and as the world starts to learn about it and it catches on, our market's going to go in lots of different ways, lots of different directions for lots of different reasons. A lot of it's just based on somebody tweeting us out, saying something nice about us. I mean, God forbid some big name with hundreds of thousands or millions of followers tweet something about TEXITcoin. Our price will shoot up, and it has nothing to do with us building the mine. The good news about that is that if our price does shoot up, it'll spur a lot of interest in mining and make it a lot easier for the mine to grow. And so I think we're going to see a really big, a big stair step as we work ourselves up, a big yo-yo effect as we work ourselves up. And we're seeing it here, highs and lows and highs and lows. But again, the high is a little higher than yesterday's high, and the low is not as low. And then that pattern continues to happen. And so I view this chart as a positive chart. I think that we've come a long way since we disabled the automated order book management. I'm very happy about that. And now it'll be exciting to see what happens on our secondary market as we start to see buyers and sellers come together over here on Vindex as well. Remember, if you want to participate on Vindex, you got to get yourself a VPN. Okay. So that's my market analysis. I think we're doing good. I think it's starting. It's still early. It's not connected yet to our work. It will be soon, but I think that it's off to a good start. So if you can read into this something different or better than what I see, let me know your comments. If you have any questions about this, pop them into our question area. Where did our question area go? Let me stop my screen sharing so I can find our question area. Q&A. Does payout track points? It will very, very soon. Great question, Russell. No, it does not. So if you're looking for your points, you got to go over and find them in affiliates still. Probably another 2 weeks until, well, let me change that answer. Payout does track points. It does track them right now, but it doesn't calculate commission based on those points. And so the points are there, but you can't see them yet, and it is not being used for commission calculation, but it will soon. Once our commission thing is done and the developers go, we think we got it, we'll test it. It's very easy for us to go back and test it over the previous 20, 22 weeks, however long we've been doing this so far. So we've got a lot of historical data, and we can rerun those reports to see if they match the reports that we got out of affiliate. What that means is that we don't have to run in parallel for too long. In fact, we don't have to run long at all. And so once we're sure that we have it, we'll shut affiliate down and we'll switch completely over to payout. Hopefully that answers your question, Russell. Great question. Thank you. What about TapBit? Is TapBit still in play? The answer to that question is yes. However, we have asked TapBit to suspend trading of TEXITcoin for now. Why? Well, remember what we talked about a while ago as we were looking at exchanges. Let me go back to screen share here. Remember what we talked about when we were looking at exchanges. We talked about the fact that the exchanges, the higher up you get on the exchange list, the more stringent the requirements are and the higher the cost is for participation. And so when I started this project, I said, I want to be right in the middle. There I am at number 54. You know, on the top 100 list, I'm not at number 1. I'm not at number 100. I'm right there in the middle. I'm happy at number 54. Well, that's DexTrade. Well, then DexTrade wouldn't give us the API that we asked for in order to get ourselves onto CoinMarketCap. So we went hunting and we found TapBit. Now, TapBit wasn't a huge step up the list. It's number 46 today, but it was a step in what I consider to be the right direction because they have a good solid market of Asian customers. And that's important to us. Unfortunately, after signing the contract and paying the fee to get on there, they gave us the list of requirements to share the data with CoinMarketCap, and it was just as bad, if not worse, than what we had on DexTrade. I said, oh, crap. All right. And that's when I got to work on finding the next one being Vindax. And for Vindax, I went the other direction. I said, all right, let's find an exchange that's going to cost us less and be less of a pain in the neck when it comes to sharing our data with CoinMarketCap. reached out to Vindex, made it very clear that we wanted to have our data shared regardless of what the market conditions were. And they said, we got you, fam, no problem. We think that that is in fact the case. I've looked at the API, so I've confirmed that our data is showing up in their API feed. And Vindex has actually been pretty good to us. They're 148. So we're not expecting a lot of, customer growth from Vindex, but they've been very good to us in meeting the unique circumstances, the needs created by the unique circumstances of TEXITcoin, which is great. And what we're going to do now is we're going to use Vindex as as the exchange that drives the data on the other exchanges as well. We haven't sorted that all out yet, but we're going to take our data from Vindex and we're going to plug that into the other exchanges so that we don't have a huge arbitrage problem between the multiple exchanges that we're on right now. But at the moment, I have asked TapBit to suspend trading for TEXITcoin. So I think that we're offline at the moment. I will double check right now while we've got me on the phone and see if they've taken us down. We're there. For some reason, we're still online, but we will come offline here very shortly. It is live at the moment, so check it out if you want. But again, we're going to disable our trading on TapBit for a moment until our market matures to the point where we are able to meet the conditions that they've set, but not manipulate our market to the point where it's unrecognizable. Real, honest, small, spread, okay, but it's got to be real. So we'll circle back around on TapBit when the time is right. Having said that, there's one more that we're looking at over on the top list. It's called ASBIT, and it's buried right in the middle, I think, between DexTrade and TapBit. There's TapBit, there's ASBIT, and ASBIT is waiting for a little bit of information from me. We'll get the contract signed. I think we've already started the integration, but ASBIT as well has been wide open and receptive to our market conditions. So again, a little bit of a lateral move, but they're inexpensive. They're willing to play ball with the things that we need in order for our market to be taken seriously and not run out of TEXITcoin at the same time. Very important. And so we'll have an update on that for you probably early next week. Hopefully that answers your question, Brian. Right? Yeah, Brian, thanks for the question. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, go back to see if we've got any more questions. What do you guys got? Time's running out, 6:43 on a Tuesday night. We covered payout features. We looked at our data, our results from the last week. We're live on DexTrade and Vindex. Get your browser VPN installed. Doesn't cost anything so that you can take a look and participate if you like. And again, the market's live. It's small, but I think it's beginning to move in the right direction. That's great. Oh, little update from Asia. We got our first two Asian whales on board. Small, little baby whales, but large purchases, cash payments, and we'll start injecting that capital into the market very soon to create more liquidity to begin to bring up the price bottom for TEXITcoin. Very exciting. Very happy with what's happening so far out on the other side of the world. I think that's it. No questions popping up. I want to send my love and best wishes to my wife who's tuned in on the other side of the world. I love you guys, you girls. I am very appreciative of the rest of you as well. Thanks for sharing your time with me. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for learning with me. If you have any questions, pop them in the Telegram chat group. And we will catch you back here in about a week for the next edition of Miners Chat with Bobby Gray, founder and fearless leader of TEXITcoin. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining, and I'll see you again real soon. Don't forget Fort Worth Gun Show this weekend if you're in town. Also, we've got the cheesesteak party at my place soon enough, November 10th for the Eagles game. If you're an Eagles Cowboys fan, come by, have a cheesesteak prepared by professional cheesesteak makers, the real deal Philly way. Not messing around here, guys. Philly boy originally. I know how to do a cheesesteak. That's November 10th. We'll have an RSVP up for that shortly. If you can make it, come join us. It is an outreach event. All of our events are outreach events. Every once in a while, we'll do something just for us. But for now, if you got people that want to know more, have them come out, check out the mine, meet the founder and fearless leader, and eat a cheesesteak. Again, Bobby Gray, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much for joining.